I recently went to a Catholic church service and I have questions. Hey y'all, I'm Demetria. I'm the creator of the Table of Diversity, this lovely tool behind me. And this is a series where I bring you all along with me on this journey of creating an at-home version of the Table of Diversity. This version, the OG, is mostly used within workplaces and organizations, and the at-home version will be for adults to utilize with kids, teens, and young adults. And, well, I think I just had a very important lesson on why this tool, why this resource is so very much needed. So I attended a Catholic church service for the first time, and I grew up Southern Baptist. So I wasn't sure what to expect. I didn't know what I was walking into, but I had a very open mind. I mean, it's just kind of who I am. Like, I walk into every situation with an open mind, ready to learn, ready to show reverence and appreciation and know my place. You know, I'm not there to be the star of the show. I'm there to take in what's happening and to be respectful. And I think I did that very well, but I have a lot of questions. So growing up, Southern Baptist, there's a lot of traditions and rituals and practices that are just inherent to the Sunday service. There's a lot of things that I know I'm walking into, that I'm going to see, that I'm going to experience, that I'm going to participate in. And what was really interesting is there's a couple ways you can look at this. I wasn't sure where there was going to be similarities. And those similarities, when we talk about across any culture, is what makes us feel at home and comfortable. It kind of puts us at ease because we're like, oh, I recognize that. I recognize that practice. I recognize that song. I recognize that scripture. I recognize the sentiment of what's happening right now. But then it also creates a bridge so that you can further explore some of those differences, some of those things where you're like, well, what's happening right now, and what does it mean? And I had a lot of those moments where I was like, okay, what's happening now? What am I supposed to do? And then what does it mean? And I want to explore that. Like, I want to take some time to go on a journey of learning so that when I do this again, I'm not so confused on what's happening. Like, I know what is happening. I know what is supposed to happen. And I can participate in a way that is respectful and that shows reverence. And I think with any culture that you are not inherently a part of, the goal is, how can I show up in a way that does not disrupt what is happening, and participate in a way that I am showing respect. And that was my ultimate goal. And so I'm on a journey of learning and unlearning and further exploring. And I think that's the underlying sentiment of this, at-home version of the Table of Diversity. It's not just so that we can read books about different cultures, or watch movies about different cultures, or listen to podcasts about different cultures. It's about immersing ourselves in these various cultures, being open to the similarities and further exploring the things that are different, so that we can be respectful and create space for people who maybe observe differently or look differently or do things differently than we do. And, when I think about kind of the tagline or the motto for the at-home version, it literally is, it starts at home. And with this version, the OG version, I mostly work in organizations, in the workplace, facilitating training, working on strategies through a DEI lens. And I know for a fact that this starts at home. And I can often tell very quickly who in the room is used to having these conversations, used to doing this work at home, versus this environment, the work environment where we're talking about DEI, is the first time they've encountered it. And there's a big, big difference in the learning curve, in the openness, in the defensiveness is not there. And the engagement is so much higher. And I want to replicate what we've been able to accomplish with the Table of Diversity, at work version at home. I have a 2-year-old and a 4-year-old, and having these conversations at home, immersing my kids in various cultures, is a key part of their upbringing. It's what I want them to value growing up, so that as they go into different environments and, encounter people who come from different backgrounds, it's not a shock, it's not a surprise, and they know how to go on that journey of learning and unlearning so that everyone feels safe and everyone can show up and be their full selves. And that starts with me. I can't just do that for them, facilitate that for them, if I'm not facilitating it for myself. And I always welcome the opportunity to explore new cultures and immerse myself into different environments. I think that's just what we're supposed to do in this life. So I'm really excited for this launch. I'm really excited for the Table of Diversity, the at-home version for kids, teens, and young adults. And I'm inviting you to come along with me, because I think that you all seeing the behind the scenes of, how we go from this version to the kids version and all the resources and tools that go along with it. So as parents and adults and grandparents, as we are implementing the Table of Diversity at home version, it becomes second nature. It becomes a lifestyle and not just an initiative or a program that's at work. So follow me, join me on this journey of both learning and unlearning, because I feel like we're doing that all the time as we are facilitating this work and creating the at-home version. But also come behind the scenes to see how this tool comes together, because it's not something that just happens overnight. It is something that a lot of research goes into, that a lot of experts, parents, kids, I feel like my kids are giving me more feedback on this and just the process than anyone. But there are so many brilliant minds that are pouring into this that it would be wrong of me not to share it. So follow along on this journey, hit the follow button, and stay tuned as I dive more into the journey of creating the at-home version, and then some of the philosophy behind why this is so important to families, why it's so important to kids as they are growing up, and hopefully proactively and productively learning about their identity, the identity of others, and how we create spaces that are inclusive and equitable. And then see how that translates into this workplace version, because I think that it's important to draw the bridge between, folks who are growing up in this environment and then what that means to do it at work. So follow me for more. I might share more of my Catholic church service learnings and unlearnings in a later video, but you get the sentiment, right? You get the sentiment of it takes an immersion. It takes us being in the environment to truly understand what it means for different cultures. And so I hope that you're taking some of those opportunities as well, where you're immersing yourself in a culture that's different from your own in a way that's respectful and that's showing reverence, because if you are open to it, it truly can be a great experience to not just learn about the world around you, but you end up learning about yourself. And I think that the Table of Diversity does a great job of facilitating that. And I'm hoping that that same sort of sentiment transfers to the kids version, where we're not just creating space to learn about each other, but we're creating space to learn about ourselves. And I think that that's the best way to go about learning about others. So follow me. Let's see where this goes. See ya.